Okay, I'm back, and I just thought that you might find this interesting. The time scales involved in the rock cycle, so you would not need to know this if you're one of my students, but I just looked up these processes on the internet and got an estimate about how long that they would take. So like, for example, an extrusive igneous process. So what would that be? Well, extrusive means outside, so this would mean how long does it take basically lava to cool off and turn into an igneous rock? Well, according to the internet, it could take up to hundreds of years. Now, sometimes the lava will cool off so quickly, it may take only a few days, a few weeks for it to be solid enough for you to be able to walk on. But for it to be completely crystallized, it may take up to hundreds of years. Okay, then the next category is the formation of coal, which is going to be a sedimentary rock. So with a sedimentary rock, how long does it take to start with a swamp and then end up with coal? So we said that in a swamp, a tree can fall, and then before it can decay, another tree can fall on it and cover it up, so that eventually it starts to it starts to decay without the presence of oxygen, so that all you're left with is the carbon that was inside of those plants. So how long does it take to go from a plant to coal? Well, it takes about 50,000 years for that to happen. Now, can you see what the significance of that is? So the coal that we're using today is about 300 million years old. Now, we are in the process of making coal. So like down in Florida, you've got the swamps where trees are falling into the swamp and they're being compressed together, but you can see that it's going to take 50,000 years to manufacture coal. We don't have that much time. So we're using up the amount of coal that we have that is millions of years old. Okay, what about regional metamorphism? So regional metamorphism is going to be when you have these continental plates that are going to be colliding, and then it's going to be pushing up mountains. Okay, so how long does that take? Well, that's on the order of hundreds of thousands of years is how long that takes to happen. And then intrusive igneous processes. So let's say that you've got a blob of magma that's under the ground. So how long will it take that blob of magma to turn into a batholith? Well, it could take up to millions of years, because that heat takes a long time to make its way out of the earth, as opposed to the extrusive igneous processes where the lava is in direct contact with the air. Okay, then weathering. Okay, so how long does it take to take a rock and then turn it into sediments? Well, it could take up to millions of years, but it also depends on what the type of rock is. So some rocks are going to weather much faster than other rocks, but in general, weathering takes millions of years to occur. And then formation of limestone. Again, that takes millions of years for carbon dioxide to be absorbed by ocean water and then to be turned into calcium carbonate, which then precipitates down to the bottom or is used by living organisms to make their shells. So limestone takes millions of years to form. Okay, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about what is it that drives the rock cycle.